What is good, guys? Danny here from Straw. Gonna go over our newest single. Gonna pretty much do a beat breakdown, all the elements that was in the beat, drums, as well as the samples used. Let's get right into it. All right. So first and foremost, gonna start off with the drums. We are with the kick. The kick we used was a kick from Excellent Sound. Go ahead, definitely check them out. They sell drum kits, they sell samples, they sell presets. Check them out. Um, this is the kick we use. Start off with the pattern. Then we're gonna go over the snares. So the snares, I did stack. Pretty much with the snares, I like to stack, and then I also like to switch them up. So I have like 4 different snare samples in here. These ones I did not get from Excellent Sound. These ones I actually got from Reddit. They have a thread called like drum kits. Really great kits if you want to not spend money. If you want to just kind of like go and get some free kits to start with. Let's say you're starting off producer and you don't want to spend money on like Splice or whatever. Great place to go. They have some good kits. The thing about it is you're gonna have to do a little mixing with them. Sometimes they are really good, but it's good to learn anyway. So what I did here, I stacked them. But what you could do with snares, what I like to do is you could like add a little bit of ear candy, so you could make one delayed like a little bit, a couple milliseconds off, or you even can make it a little bit early. They each have their own like specific sound to them. Just mess around with stuff, you'll get some sounds in. Okay. And then I kind of switched it up on the second half. How it sounds. Same more deal with the hi-hats. Kind of just kind of put them in patterns, but then also stacked them, and then as well as kind of switched up the sound of each of them. So with the sample, it was like a brass stab, right? So what I like to do is I like to use sampler. So pretty much you get like a sample and you put it in it, then you could now play it like an instrument. So I had like, this was the original sample right here. Just a straight up one shot brass stab. Put it in sampler. Now I could go ahead and mess with it. Okay. And then to kind of switch up the sound, not to make it sound too repetitive, I went halfway through and I upped it 12 octaves. So that's what you could do. You could pretty much like, if you want to kind of keep the same integrity of a certain sound, but you also want it not to sound repetitive, you could always mess around with the octaves. You could either lower octaves or higher it octaves. I usually find the best results is when I higher it like 12 octaves. I mean, 12 octaves, God, 12 fucking notes, 1 octave. Fucking, this is pretty much what it sounds like in the second half of it. So simple, 1 octave up, boom, bob, bing. Oh yeah, also, I know you hear like that reverb on it. What I like to do, what you're supposed to be doing technically, put your reverb to your sends. Don't put the reverb directly on the sample. You kind of like lose its integrity. So you're instead of you having like the original sample plus like a reverb on top of it or stacked on it, you're putting the reverb like with you're congealing the reverb in the sample, which you don't want to do. You want to keep the integrity of the original sample. So with through sends, it pretty much creates like a duplicate, but it's not really like a duplicate of the sample with reverb. It's a duplicate, but just reverb, like just the reverb. So it's a lot more cleaner. It's gonna sound a lot more better. So definitely, if you don't use sends, use them, man. Fucking use them. All right, do it. All right. So now we're gonna go on to the next one. So basically, with the second sample, kind of like a call and response. Call and response is like one sound makes one thing, and then when there's space between the next part, there's another sound that kind of like responds to that first, like you're calling and then you're responding, you know what I'm saying? So this is the sample. This one was called Television Crowd Ambient. This is how it sounds. Just there to fill in the spaces, you know, just to, same thing, I put it in sampler so I could kind of like mess with the notes. And then also, I don't know if you can see this down here. I have automations here. So these automations are pretty much making it like move through the speakers, you know, motherfucking scuba, you know, move through the speakers, left, right speaker. You always want like a sound that's kind of like going through the speakers, you know what I'm saying? Like you want some of that sounds where like you just have sounds moving left and right through the speaker. It just adds a little more oomph, you know, a little more a little more you know. Well, so I used some samples, like some looped samples, not like something that, but I did still kind of tweak with them a little, except the risers. These are obviously just like simple risers, just to like get you ready for the drop, you know, like some white noise, reverse white noise, you know what I'm saying? Added some reverb on it, yada yada. This was the actual loop I used. I think I got it from Splice. I'm not 100% sure. Got it from somewhere, you know. But this is how it sounds. Simple breakbeat, you know. The thing about it though, I kind of tweaked it a little bit. The transients are kind of messed with. So to do that, in order to kind of make that effect, you go right here in your warp settings. You're going to go to this. Usually it's on complex, but you put it on beats. You do this preserve to transients, and then you put this with the arrow, that's with the line that stops after the arrow. And then this, now when you mess with this, it lessens the transients or increases. So like 100% it's like the normal sample, obviously. That's how it originally sounds, you know. But as you pull it down, it makes it more you get my drift. The intro I did like 64%, and then when it drops 80%. Slight different, small little change, but it all adds up in the end, you know. Not many of the listeners are really gonna hear that, but if someone does hear that, hey. But it's a cool little trick to use if you want to kind of like mess with like some samples, mess with stuff, you know. You just kind of add that in there and see if it, you know, happy accidents are always good, especially in the music world, the production. Happy accidents are going to be your best friend. I've created a lot of dope beats and a lot of dope things just from accidentally doing one thing, or like something, you know, you didn't mean to do, and then oh that sounds hard, let me keep that, you know. Like now for the final part, my favorite part, the low end, that motherfucking bass, you know what I'm saying? That bass, you know what I'm saying? You gotta add that. That's that feel of the song, you know. Always love that motherfucking real trap shit, you know. Got this one. I think I did get this low end from Reddit as well, from the song Motorsport. Same shit. Put it in there. Saturate. I like putting a saturate on it. If you have Ableton, this is a nice little nugget of knowledge. You put a saturate on it. Put it on hard curve, and then you minus the drive by however. If you put it at 0, that's just gonna max it out. But usually you want to put the drive like at minus 22 to like minus whatever. And then, well, I usually like start at minus 22, and if it's too quiet, then just like increase it by like 1 dB until you get it to where you like how it sounds. For me, I think it was like at 16, so that was cool with me, you know. If you don't want too hard of a saturation, you could do like a medium curve, or you can even do like a soft side. It's much less drastic, just whatever you like. But definitely the hard curve is definitely going to give it more of a feel. Like not really make it louder, but make it more like grittier, like you'll like that, like when you're in the car and you feel that vibration. That's what it kind of creates, you know. So that's a good little tip for anybody that doesn't know. Saturator, hard curve, minus 16 to 22 dB. The pattern that we wrote for it. What I like to do is these little jumps. That's a little cool. If you do you have like, you know, it's pretty much the same note, the root note, but you could just up it an octave. It's always good to mess with octaves, man. Always just to see how it sounds. It creates like a little like jump, you know, like, you know, sounds dope. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. The whole beat all together. Let's play it. that's pretty much it, guys. You know, that was the beat. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. There's more to come. Hopefully, you know, we get the next project moving. We should. We have a bunch of new songs to come out. Bunch of new stuff. Like as you can see, got all this. So, you know what I'm saying? If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you guys did it, then sorry for wasting your time. But yeah, peace out. Have a good day.